Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're doing something a bit different, going way back. We're looking at some ancient wisdom, but stuff that really speaks to, well, our modern lives, struggles with change, loss, how we get attached to things. Our source today is pretty amazing. It's excerpts from the Jarāsutta.
Mhm.
That's the sixth sutta in the Attahavaga of the Suttanipāta.
And the Suttanipāta is one of the really early Buddhist texts. Very direct, very poetic.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of cuts through the noise,
Mhm.
No complex layers, just core human stuff. So our mission really is to unpack what these old verses tell us about how short life is, where our sadness actually comes from, and maybe how to find some real peace in a world that's always changing.
And what's so striking is how you get these aha
Yeah.
moments reading it. It doesn't matter what your background is, it just resonates. It's a chance, I think, to get some deep insights into, well, our relationship with stuff, with people, even with time itself. It offers a pretty radical view on security.
Okay, yeah, let's get into it. The text, it doesn't mess around, does it? Verse 804 hits you right away.
Right. Bang.
It basically says, look, life is short. Whether you get a lot of time or a little, it runs out. Old age, death. Nobody gets a pass.
Mhm.
It's stark, isn't it? But it feels relevant, like that background hum of anxiety we have today, always needing to do more, see more, because maybe time's slipping away.
Exactly. And I don't think the point is to be, depressing about it.
No, yeah.
It's more like liberating. Okay, if life is finite, if decay is inevitable, then clinging desperately to things. How does that make sense? Where should we really look for security?
Which leads right into the next bit, the core of sorrow, as the text sees it.
Yeah, verses 805 and 806, they really focus on this.
It talks about mommyite. That's the clinging, the this is mine feeling.
That's it, that deep sense of mine. Verse 805 says, basically, people grieve over what they call mine, precisely because nothing lasts. Seeing that separation is just built in, you shouldn't live based on craving.
Wow. So the very act of claiming ownership, of saying this is mine, is setting yourself up for the pain of loss later.
That's the direct link it makes. And verse 806 drives it home, even what you think is yours right now, you leave behind when you die. The text implies, a wise person figures this out and wouldn't be so attached, so focused on mine.
Makes you think about, I don't know, our digital stuff. Photos, online profiles, followers.
Oh, absolutely.
We invest so much emotional energy, but they're just as fleeting, aren't they? One server crash, one platform change, gone.
Exactly. If everything we cling to is ultimately temporary, then where's the real stability?
Okay, this is where it gets really fascinating for me. Verses 807 and 808. Verse 807 has this image, like waking from a dream, and the dream figures are just gone. You don't see them anymore.
Yeah, vivid, isn't it?
And then 808 follows up. People you see, people you hear about. Eventually, all that's left of someone who's departed is just the name.
Just the name remains.
I mean, I struggled with that a bit. It feels cold. We form bonds, we care about people, we work for things. How does this text view, like, healthy connection versus this harmful clinging? Is there a difference?
That's a really important question.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not saying don't care or become indifferent.
Yeah.
It seems to be more about understanding the nature of things. Our physical presence, the things we identify with as us or ours, they're temporary. Ultimately, for others, what persists is the memory, the name. It's pushing us to think critically about what truly lasts beyond this temporary form.
So it's not about not loving someone, but about not basing your entire sense of peace on them never changing or never leaving.
Precisely. It's about the dependency of your peace on something inherently impermanent. That's the clinging it warns against.
Okay, so if clinging is the problem, what's the solution offered here? Verse 809 gives a hint, right?
Yes, it contrasts the greedy who can't let go of sorrow and envy tied to mind
Right.
with the sages who see security in abandoning that possessiveness and wandering free.
Abandoning possessions. That sounds pretty radical.
Well, possessions here could mean material things, but also maybe fixed ideas, identities.
Yeah.
The whole concept of mine.
It makes me think of those small moments, like when your phone battery dies unexpectedly or, your favorite coffee shop closes down.
Little lessons.
Yeah, those tiny jolts of, oh, I was really attached to that. They show how deep that mine feeling goes, even for small things.
Absolutely. And that raises the question. Verse 8 and 12 addresses with that beautiful image.
The lotus leaf.
Yeah. Just as a drop of water doesn't stick to a lotus leaf, a sage isn't smeared by what is seen, heard, or perceived.
So not getting stuck on things.
Exactly. It's not about being aloof or shutting down experience. It's about non-attachment. finding that deep security, Kimatasino, seeing security not by holding on tighter, but by releasing that desperate grip of mine.
It's less about getting rid of your stuff and more about getting rid of the idea that your inner peace depends on that stuff staying the same.
I think that's a great way to put it, giving up the dependence.
Wow. Okay, so looking back at this deep dive, it's been quite a journey. We started with that stark truth about life being short, death being certain.
Verse 804, setting the stage.
Then we got into the real heart of it, that deep ache, the sorrow that comes from clinging to mine, to Mamayite.
Verses 805, 806, identifying the root.
And that really poignant idea in 808 that only a name is left behind. That really puts our day-to-day attachments in a different light, doesn't it?
It does. The irony being, like you said, the more we grasp, the more anxious we often become.
Yeah.
And then the setup points towards a different way letting go, embodied by the sage, the muni, who's like that lotus leaf, untouched, unsoiled.
Verse 812.
Right. The core message seems crystal clear. Clinging to mind just leads down a path of sorrow, grief, envy. Releasing that grip, that's where you find real security, Kimatasino. And again, it's not about apathy. It's a different way of engaging with the world, one that doesn't automatically create suffering for yourself.
So, thinking about the listener, about you, what does all this ancient stuff mean for you right now, navigating, everything?
Well, I think understanding these ideas from the Jarāsutta, it could genuinely offer a way to handle maybe information overload or manage expectations better. Find some calm when things feel chaotic. Like if you're feeling that pressure from social media comparison, seeing everyone else's mind, this offers a totally different way to find validation internally.
Right. Or if you're dealing with, say, a job loss or something you cherished is gone. This wisdom isn't about pretending it doesn't hurt.
No.
But it might help find peace, not by trying to get it back or replace it instantly, but through the process of letting go of the attachment to it having to be a certain way.
Which brings us to a really thought-provoking place to maybe leave things for reflection.
Yeah, that final idea from verse 813 about the dono, the purified one.
Right. It says they don't even think about purity in terms of what they see, hear, or perceive. They're neither attached nor detached. It raises a huge question, doesn't it? In our world, we're constantly pushed to define ourselves by what we have, what we do, what we experience, our jobs, friends, achievements. Mine, mine, mine. So what would it actually mean to find contentment, real clarity, not through any of that external stuff, but from somewhere deeper, a place of just non-identification?
Not being attached, but also not being detached. What is that state?
Exactly. It's not indifference. It seems like a profound freedom from the whole game of mine, a liberation from constantly searching for satisfaction outside yourself.
So maybe the question for you to reflect on is, how might that kind of perspective change your own search for peace and real satisfaction?